Hey, I'm Pat,
Hey, I'm Emily.
and this is What's in
Your Growler.
It's the show where we talk about beer
And what's in beer?
and the breweries and other stuff, fun facts.
Mostly focusing on breweries and beer from Michigan. So, Pat, what's in your growler?
So happy you asked. In my growler this week, I had Old Nation 10 penny bit. Really, really good Scottish ale. Light biscuity flavors. I met the sales rep at Old Nation. He had a lot of really cool stuff to say about it. They had these Ivy League brewers who have like 14 years beer experience. And,
Ivy League beer.
Ivy
Wow.
League beer, yeah. The head brewer went to Yale, studied microbiology, and he knows his stuff because he makes a pretty mean brew.
All important for the fermentation process.
Yeah.
Beer equals science, as it turns out.
It is. It's all. Sometimes science equals art, though.
Sometimes. Ooh.
It's more art than science. A lot of people don't realize that.
Cheers to beer, art, science.
Cheers.
So, Scotch ales, not to be confused with Scottish ales, are some of my favorite style. It's one of my favorite styles of beer. So, Pat, can you explain a little bit what's the difference between a Scotch ale and a Scottish ale?
So a Scotch ale is going to be heavier. They both use the same ingredients. Scotch ale just uses more of them. It comes from the name, the Scottish style of brewing, and has nothing to do with the spirit, Scotch, the liquor. Although some of the Scotch ales do taste like Scotch. No, a Scottish ale is going to be lighter in taste and flavor and body and in alcohol content. So this is only 6.7%, which is really low for a Scottish style ale.
Now, if it were to taste more like Scotch, per se, as the spirit, that would have more to do with the aging process than the actual
Sure,
brewing
definitely.
process.
And sometimes they are brewed in Scotch bottles or barrels.
Awesome. Well, this is delicious. It's a little lighter than a Scotch ale, which makes it very drinkable. But cheers.
It's really biscuity, really malty.
It's very light and delightful.
Yeah. Williamston, Michigan, 60 miles that way. Go check them out.
That way.
Right there. Right there.
Got it. Nailed it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Emily, what's in your growler?
And thank you for asking. In my growler, I have Oddside Ale's Mayan Mocha Stout. Getting into the holiday season, I was really looking for something to impress guests that are beer lovers, or maybe those who are not that into beer, have something very exciting and tantalizing to draw them in. It's a habanero mocha stout. You maybe have had some artisan chocolates that include hot pepper in the cocoa powder. And these two things pair really well, and Outside has done a really good job of replicating that pairing in this beer, which is why I'm really excited about it. For the holidays, it's getting cold out, something chocolatey, like a hot cocoa style beverage, but then having that refreshment in a beer style with pepper to really warm you up. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Oddside is from Grand Haven, Michigan. They have the mission of creating beers that are very unique and different, and are going to provide a really interesting beer experience to those who have their work. Even if it's an IPA or different stouts, they've just done a really good job. I've never had an Oddside that I didn't like, and like their name,
because they make a lot of crazy flavors.
they make some crazy stuff,
Stuff you'd think you would hate, but
you love it.
they're all knockouts. They're all great.
Knockouts. So this is by far my favorite. I've had some spicy chocolate beers before, and this one really does nail it. So cheers to Oddside and to spicy chocolates.
It's good seasonal. I wouldn't want to drink this in the summertime, unlike most stouts.
Well, it definitely has that strong, almost oakiness to it that really grounds the cocoa flavor and contrasts the spice very well. So.
And they don't overdo it with the pepper like a lot of other breweries do. I'm not going to name names, but we all know who we're talking about.
When I serve this beer, I often hear from customers that, it wasn't as spicy as I thought. And I tell them, just take another sip. It really does build, but not in an overpowering way. So, excellent. One of my favorites. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and watching at the same time.
And hopefully drinking, let's be
Yes.
honest.
Yes.
So, until next time.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Emily. And this is What's in Your Growler?